Yo, welcome back to the BST4 channel. Wingness, what's going on? What's happening, man? Listen, thank you guys for checking out the channel, man. I really do appreciate it. Today, man, we're going to be jumping and trying to get this exhaust connected from here into the old pipe. Now, I know I need a cap back system, but my money ain't right now. So what I'm going to be doing behind the scenes while I'm talking about this GL1000, I'm going to be trying to figure out what I'm doing, because the situation with the pipe in the rear is this size. And the pipe that I'm putting on is actually this one here, and it's that size. So what we're doing, right, I had to cut slits into this thing here, boom, 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 and so I can get the proper situation kind of fitting like that. So as I'm doing that, I'm going to be speaking about the GL1000 real briefly, how I got that thing running. You see, I'm really not trying to like do a real clean, seamless, fresh type of build. Some people are into that, even though I don't really like riding bikes anymore. But if I occasionally get on one, this is how I would really like to rock it. Like I mentioned in the other video, you've seen this bike here. We took the engine out. The person said that it did run. I don't know how it would run when you have a situation like this. You know what I mean? You don't even see the other piston coming out. But the other engine in here was a GL1000. This one here is a GL1100. So we're going to swap that inside of that frame there. If you guys know about your GL1100, your GL1100 engine doesn't have the point system on this side. Now, this is the reason why I had to do this whole situation here. Right here on the GL1000, you have the setup for the point system that's on the cam. Now, on the GL1100, the point system is in the back, and this is the plug right here. And now on the GL1000, which is the head right here, what happened was the valves did bend. If you look inside this video here, as me installing the rocker arms, right? If you look at the lower part, you see that the rocker arms are not lined up properly. Now, this cam here is from the GL1100. Now, as you can see here, this one is cut off, right? And now this one here, this is from the GL1000. Now, this is the one that we need because we have to be able to use that electronic ignition system on the GL1000 harness. To set the timing on this is kind of straightforward. See the test light that's right here? This is a white wire that goes into the blue wire, which is right there, right? Now, when you turn it, try to get it right and see if we can get it right on, boom, then it turns on. The timing is right, and I was trying to get spark. And every once in a while I get spark and I don't get spark. And then I had to close the gap on the ignition point system or something like that. I had to go up here and deal with this part right here. There's two wires here. Now what was happening was when I plugged those two wires up, it started to get really hot. I mean, you can smell it. You know, I think that's a little bit too hot. You know, I didn't really know what to do with this, so I just put it to the side. Now, with this bike here, when I got it, these two wires were taped up, and I was trying to figure out what it was. So I left it untaped. Went and got that gas tank right there and add the gas tank hose, boom, straight to the carburetor, even though it has a fuel pump. The fuel pump didn't work. I had to run it like that. All right. So we trying to crank this thing. I'm cranking it. It locked. And I'm like, oh my gosh, the thing jumped timing. I'm like, man, this sucks. And I got lucky. It was hydro locked. Carbs were leaking. Gas just going right in there. The carbs wasn't locked off. All right, cool. Engine is workable. So let's get the thing back on timing, because I took the belt off and everything. Took the belt off, put it back on, and then I said, let me check the timing on the other side. So I took the other cover off. Mind you, I never took that other cover off. So I had to time the other side, then time this side, and then boom, we got good timing. And I went and I hit the starter button on this thing here, right? The thing only ran when the starter button was pushed. Like if you held it like this, the bike would run. As soon as you let go of it, the bike was stalled, which was crazy. So what was happening is that this thing needs to be taped up so it can have power to the ignition to keep this bike running. And then my ignition went, and that's cool, but it still works. I just gotta wait. Dang it, it ain't working. Wait. Bingo. And then you turn this on. But it's running. So we're definitely happy about that. Now, I never really heard one of these run in this manner. This is the first daggone time, other than hearing them in videos. Strategically trying to figure out how I'm going to get everything in order or not in order. And along with that, I need 5 more parts that I never even mentioned. And I need a synchronizing tool for the carburetors. Need it. And I need it for the other bike. The bike is running, but it's not really snappy as it should be. So now behind the scenes, this is what we've been doing. 240SX, cleaning up the garage and everything so we can get this thing in. Nephew's doing his thing. He's doing all the mathematical equations. I am just the muscle to put this thing in a system. And that's really it. 300 horsepower in this 350Z engine versus a KA that's naturally aspirated is probably 125, somewhere like that, and then turbo in it, maybe you get like a good 300, maybe even 250 horsepower. NA, 300, 6-speed, you're good. You know what I mean? On a light body frame, it's as light as a Honda Civic, dang near. So now let's go take our behind outside, and we're gonna be using a stick welder, Amazon, and we're gonna weld this thing on up. Let's go. So when you begin this whole process with your 4.6 double overhead cam manifolds, right? You drill a hole right there. Then you find yourself a bung like this. Put that on. Got to make sure it's centered properly. Now here's the deal. We put the exhaust on and it's looking legit. We got the bungs on for the O2 sensors. Everything is looking right, even down to the connector that we made on the outside where we made this little slits on. Boom, that looks legit. Now I have to pause because guess what? When I started this thing up, there was a few things I disliked. First off, the thing is completely quiet. So what we have to do is we don't have to do everything in the back half of it. For a little reinsurance, I made sure I cut these joints out so I don't have no ideas and keep the old exhaust that's going over the rear axle, keep that stock. But so along with that, what I found out was that when I did the exhaust on this side, the clutch line that go into the clutch slave, actually, this was in the way of the exhaust. No problem. That's one thing. Fix that, remedy that, and keep it moving. Then on this side, right, we had an issue with this. Now this here is leaking. See, obviously it doesn't leak when it stands here, but when the engine is running and it's shaking, you're going to get that. Now, that's the reason why I wanted to change the fuel rail, so I can just eliminate this altogether and have the feed and the return on this side and just plug it up. Done deal. So back on this side, what I was about to tell you is that the power wire on the exhaust going to the starter and the ground to the transmission. And you travel back here, all the way in the back, and boom, you can see that the battery is right there. No problems, right? Got the positive there, negative there, and I made a negative go to the body. Now, I have to get another negative that's coming off the engine to the body. So the body, or I should say all the electricity and all the good stuff is all well and good and grounded. So here's the deal with all the guys who's doing this type of stuff on YouTube that is just basically low budget. Now, we have to touch our cars, then we have to find out what new things we need. You know what I'm saying? Because this car is not road ready. I have to get all these wires, right? This little crap here, clean this all up. Wires are all over the place. Take the leaves out, clean it, clean the engine bay actually, and get everything situated so it can be roadworthy. Didn't even do the wires yet. I've been talking about this in around 5 videos. Didn't do it yet because I've been dealing with the engine, trying to get that right. I got to get that situated. That has to be ordered. I'm going to order another exhaust. 2 pieces going a little bit further out to mufflers, right? I got to leave the stock pipe that goes over the rear axles on both sides and then add the mufflers from that and just keep it moving from there. But right there, I have to put a flange there, either a 2-bolt or a 3-bolt. I got to be able to take the pipe down if I have to do the trans. You know what? We're getting really close with that exhaust. You know, I did not want to do that exhaust. I'm kind of forced to just really do an exhaust. My nephew, he put a little battery in my back. Come over here. Let's check out his 240SX. Now he's making his own brackets now. Let me tell you guys something. I told him to go buy some brackets, which was a no-no. The guys who are doing backyard stuff, man, that's like blasphemy. And he told me, he said, what's the sense of me buying brackets? I can make them myself. Everybody has a generic pattern that they use on their 240SX when they do this swap. I'm going to have something very unique. And everybody's going to know that I made them versus I bought them. And I was like, you know what? Maybe that was a selfish moment for me to tell him to just get the brackets. You know what I'm saying? See, you can learn something from everybody. Sometimes you stray off the path, and he put me right back in my place and say, hey, look, I gotta be able to make these mounts. You know, we can do anything here. We can make it. What's the sense of buying something when we can make it? That's why it's good to have good people around you that have like minds, right? So I'm not gonna lie to you guys, man. I really feel a little bit defeated, but you know what? The bike was running good. I'm making good progress, but you know what? With all good things, right? You're going to miss your mark all the time. But the thing is, and the key is to keep on going.